what if the biggest threat to your team's productivity isn't your competitors, but, your employees' grocery bills?
Yeah, that whole idea of leaving your personal problems at the door when you clock in, I mean, that is officially dead.
Totally. So for anyone in HR listening right now, that door is wide open. Today's deep dive is all about how external economic stress, like inflation, rising living costs, how all that just floods straight into the workplace.
Right, and suddenly you are on the front lines holding the team together.
Exactly. And our mission today is to equip you with, well, actionable zero-cost strategies. Because when financial pressures outside the office start impacting performance inside, you need a framework to actually support your people.
Right, and you have to do it without blowing a budget you just don't have.
Yeah. So we have to look at how this financial anxiety actually sneaks into the 9 to 5. Like looking at the latest PwC data, I mean, the findings are stark.
Oh, absolutely. Financial pressure leads directly to distraction, higher turnover, and presenteeism.
All right, presenteeism, where people are physically at their desk, but mentally just uh, completely checked out.
Yeah, and it's rarely a sudden collapse. You'll notice this sort of gradual erosion, like a usually vocal employee suddenly goes quiet in meetings.
Or maybe your most reliable manager starts missing routine deadlines.
Exactly.
Feels like a smartphone battery. I mean, outside economic stress is like one of those really heavy background apps running on your phone.
Oh, that is a great way to look at it.
Right. You might not see it open on your screen,
Mm.
but it is silently draining your team's concentration and energy. Just doing everyday tasks becomes so much harder.
And just like a drained battery, that hidden anxiety triggers a real psychological shift. Job insecurity just breeds cautious communication.
People become afraid to take risks, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And when employees feel like their underlying anxieties are unheard, that frustration transforms into disengagement or, quiet quitting.
So what do? I
That's
mean, you can't just fix the global economy for them.
No, you definitely can't.
And you probably don't have the budget to hand out massive raises across the board either.
Right. So this is where you leverage the job demands resources model or the JDR.
Okay, JDR. What's the logic there?
Well, the underlying logic is that workplace well-being is a delicate balance. Economic uncertainty naturally increases an employee's demands.
Right, the stress goes up.
Exactly. And since you can't control those external demands, you have to counterbalance them by increasing the resources you offer.
And these resources don't have to cost money. We're talking about giving flexibility,
Mm.
like a compressed work week, for example. That means your team spends less money and time commuting or hosting budgeting workshops to
Help them manage what they do have.
Right, but okay, wait. Here is where I get stuck. One of the recommended resources is employee recognition. Is a public thank you in a team meeting really going to matter to an employee who is, like, actively panicking about rising rent?
I mean, I hear you. Praise obviously doesn't pay the bills. But if we look at the mechanics of the JDR model, feeling valued acts as this crucial psychological buffer against burnout.
So it doesn't solve the financial math, but it helps.
Yeah, it reminds the employee they belong to a supportive community. It keeps them engaged with your team rather than just, spiraling into isolation.
But I guess providing those resources fails entirely if your employees don't trust leadership in the first place.
Exactly. And if we want to build that trust, we actually need to look outside of HR.
Really? To where?
Public health officials. They use a crisis framework called CIRC, Crisis and Emergency Risk Communication, and it translates beautifully to internal HR.
Okay, so what are the core tenets of that?
The main ones are to be first, be right, be credible, and express empathy. Being first is psychologically vital because, well, silence creates a vacuum.
Oh, right. And if you don't speak up, employees will fill that vacuum with some alarming narrative that is almost always worse than reality.
Exactly. You have to establish yourself as the primary source of truth before rumors just take over.
But wait, how can you be first and right when the executive team genuinely doesn't have all the answers yet? You can't just invent updates about the company's financial footing.
No, you can't. But people expect openness, not perfection. Admitting something like, hey, we're monitoring the situation and you will hear it from us first, is far more respected than just corporate silence.
That makes sense. It tells your team that you're aware of the tension and you aren't hiding from it.
Right. And that empathy has to translate into action, especially in how you run your HR processes.
Yeah, how does all this stress impact something like hiring?
Well, when your internal team is stressed and stretched thin, there's a massive temptation to rush the vetting process just to get bodies in seats.
Oh, I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
But rushing destroys the candidate experience, right?
It does, and it leads to costly hiring mistakes. Empathy without consistent action just destroys credibility. You have to keep your processes human and consistent, even when the pressure is on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when the dust settles, your employees aren't going to remember polished corporate messaging.
No, they really won't.
They will remember if you treated them like adults, with honesty, flexibility, and genuine empathy. Think back to that background app silently draining the battery.
Such a good analogy.
Thanks. So if external financial stress acts as a hidden tax on your team's energy, what invisible, untapped resources does your organization already possess that could help balance their ledger? Something to think about.